If CPS is knocking at your door, intimidating you as a parent with police standing there waiting for you to talk back so they can arrest you and steal your kids, stand strong, tell them you want to see their warrant, they will leave. Lessons like these can save your family and are exactly what the CPS Punisher assists you with. If your lawyer isn't fighting for your child, now you can research anything and everything so you can be educated on the most up-to-date case law and court procedures. The CPS Punisher has more tools than Home Depot when it comes to recording data from your CPS case. Whether you need a timeline, log your visits, ask a question pertaining to the ADA, the CPS Punisher has it. Never again will CPS have the upper hand when you have the CPS Punisher. Visit thecpspunisher.com.
Protect us all. Protect us all. Protect us all. Yeah. Late night knock and the sirens glow. Mama's crying while the cold winds blow. Papers in their hands saying sign right here, but the children hold tight when the heroes appear. Boots hit the pavement, truth in his eyes. The CPS Punisher hears every lie. Not for the money, not for the fame. He's standing for the families calling his name. And beside him rides Queen Tiff strong, voice like thunder when the system's wrong. Shield for the broken, hope for the weak, fighting for the parents too scared to speak. No revenge burning in their hearts tonight, just love for the children and the will to fight, trying to keep every family whole. That's the fire living deep in their souls. The CPS Punisher, Queen Tiff by his side, standing for the families they tried to divide, holding the line so the children stay safe, never backing down, never losing faith. They'll fight together through the storm and pain, till families don't live in fear again. Voices rising loud across the nation's home. Protect our children, protect us all. Protect us all. Yeah. Courtroom shadows and the whisper spread, stories twisted till the truth seems dead. But the Punisher walks through the fear and smoke, giving strength to the people the system broke. Queen Tiff speaking with the warrior's flame, calling every injustice out by name. She says children need love, not endless control. You can't heal a family by breaking its soul. Neighbors gather raising signs up high, tears in their eyes but they won't hide. Every mother, every father knows love is the seed that a family grows. No revenge burning in their hearts tonight, just hope for tomorrow and the courage to fight, trying to keep every family whole. That's the fire living deep in their souls. The CPS Punisher, Queen Tiff by his side, standing for the families they tried to divide, holding the line so the children stay safe, never backing down, never losing faith. They'll fight together through the storm and pain, till families don't live in fear again. Voices rising loud across the nation's home. Protect our children, protect us all. Protect us all. One day the fear won't haunt these streets. One day the crying finally sleeps. One day the children all come home and know family stands alone. The CPS Punisher, Queen Tiff standing tall, fighting for the families, fighting for them all. Not for vengeance, not for hate, but to keep love stronger than the state. And they'll keep marching till the whole world says children belong with the families. Hearts unbroken, voices unchained, till every child is safe again. They are taking our kids every day. A child a minute, no one has a thing to say for those who have been isolated. Don't be worried, you have a voice today. So listen up, everyone, here is the story. Child Protective Services is real. CPS is what they call it. They want our kids because it fills a lot of people's wallets. We all think it won't be us. We say when they come, we will be so tough. It all sounds good when there's no one to take them. But when they come, your voice gets to breaking. Stay calm, step away. CPS ain't taking no one today. We are educated. Stay calm, step away. CPS, you need to leave. I know the tricks up your sleeves. You can't do what you're trying to do. We have done our homework. Don't do a damn thing without a warrant. You will no longer will steal our kids this way. Tiff and the Punisher have come for the calling. They are giving us the CPS warning. Their voice is loud and clear. We stopped losing our kids this year. Tiff wants to fight the entire planet. She's tired of our kids being taken, god damn it. She's been fighting CPS for 30 years, bringing children home from this disgusting mess. The Punisher screaming out loud, abolish CPS and tear it down. I want all our kids to come back. Look at all those kids' pictures held up by Tiff Tack. Together we are stronger than we need. We will tear down CPS with hot speed. We will do so much being together. Birds of a feather flock together. So watch out, CPS, here we come. Picking you off one by one. We promise to bring back the family and prosecute the caseworkers unhandily. So give us back the kids you have taken. Sending you all on a vacation. The one with bars in the windows and the only games you play are on Nintendos. Corruption in courts, here we come. We won't stop until it's done. You judges need to learn what you stand for. This is Tiff and the Punisher Warrior. Oh, and we cry out to all you out there. We need support for a cause that many don't care. All children are being stolen way too often. So CPS, we plan on doing the stopping. I stop!
There with Darren.
Hey, Tiff.
Hey,
Oh, hi, Dottie. Oh, naughty Dottie came in. What's happening, Tiff? Naughty Dottie on TV. This is Naughty
yeah,
Dottie.
mine's in here too. He's like all over my room right now. My four-legged child.
Bye-bye, little girl. Oh, what a weekend, huh? Everything go well for
Yeah.
you? You had no interactions, huh?
No,
Of course not. I know what's up. You know what's up. See that?
they
If you
should
just
too.
listen, if you just do what we tell you to do, because we've done our homework, you know, uh, then you end up in this situation. But the problem is that people don't listen. They just don't. They want to think that they know, and the things that we offer and the education that we provide people is very simple. Just stand the fuck up for yourself. Stand on your constitutional rights. Tell them no. Have a backbone, and that's it. And that, if you can't establish that from the gates, you can't give them the alpha domination and tell them that you are going to be there and you know what your rights are, then you're going to lose. Period. You're going to freaking lose. I mean, that's just it. If they think that you're just some Nimrod and they're going to run all over you, they're going to take your kids, and that's it. If you don't know that the first one to the courthouse is what makes you win, you're going to lose. Like if you don't know these things, you're going to lose. And then you're in for a fight. And then you're in for a long fight because you know what, Tiff? How long is it? How long? If you can't get out of that 72-hour hearing with a victory,
Forever. It's going to take
you're in there 6 months to
forever.
a year. Right. You're in there.
Forever.
Theodore Franklin, he went to court today. What happened?
That's a long time for a child.
Yeah. Waiting every day. Imagine that, waiting at the window every day for your dad and your mom to show up.
Yeah.
Imagine
It's terrible.
5 years later go by and you're still waiting, It sucks.
Right.
It
So I
sucks.
didn't have a good weekend other than a little thing my cat caught. So I'm so sorry. My cat, my little child over here is sitting on my lap. I don't get on Facebook much on the weekends because I got my munchkins running around. But I happened to see a post of somebody who said they're a constitutional litigator, whatever the case may be. I was like, we need to talk. Well, he called me once and I was driving. So I called him back later on and we had a good conversation. And then I called you. Was it yesterday? I don't even know what day it is.
It was yesterday.
Yeah. So I called you yesterday. And then I had to get off because my minions were running around. And then you spoke with him. I think he would be a good addition to our team, but we can decide that. I think that we should hear what he's got to say. And he is from Virginia.
From your hometown. Isn't he from your hometown?
No, he's not from my hometown. He's from my home state.
Oh.
I'm in Winchester. He's in Richmond.
I just saw some news on Winchester too, but let's bring out Stacy, won't we?
Yes.
All right. Hello, Stacy.
Hey there. Hi, guys. Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor to be on with y'all.
Oh, you're the honor. You are the honor, sir. Boy. So what did you think? Hey, have you known about us? Did you see our new cartoon that we had up here today? The one that I just put up here?
No, I saw a thumbnail that had four of us.
Yeah.
And I figured I was the guy all the way on the right. I took a picture of it and sent it to a couple friends. I was like, yo, this is so cool.
Yeah. All right. So good. I'm glad that you saw it.
Yeah, no, it's very cool. I like it.
Good stuff. So what's up? What's going on?
All right. So I'll give you a little history about me. I separated from my wife in 2017, and by 2019 she was involved with an attorney. We went through the first round of divorce and custody and all that stuff. Everything was fine for about a year and a half, and then going back to the beginning of all that, I gotten a message from him basically saying if I ever opposed them, they were going to throw me in jail and take my son away from me. Well, really, take my son away from me and then throw me in jail. It took them 6 years to do it, but they actually did it. And I spent close to $30,000 on a bar card. I don't even refer to these people as attorneys because they're not attorneys, not lawyers, they're bar cards. You know, they can call people that want to exercise their constitutional rights and learn about law of sovereign citizens, which is an oxymoron in itself. And we just call them bar cards. But as a matter of fact, the only sovereign citizens that I know of are pretty much police and lawyers anyway, because those are the ones that think the law doesn't, apply to them or whatever. So anyway, the second round, I wasn't going to spend any more money and on another lawyer to catch them working with the lawyer on their side to take my money and screw me. So I started studying law, started studying Virginia's civil procedure. In the very beginning of that case, they had me arrested twice, ended up dropping the charges. I had an attorney on the unlawful ringing of a phone. That was the first thing they had me arrested on. And this attorney, she was a good lady, but she also did family law. And when I hired her initially for that case, and she said something to me that really kind of set me off on my journey and led me to where I am with my knowledge. And she said, "You don't have any rights." And I was dumbfounded. I was like, what do you mean I don't? Now this is an attorney I just gave $3,000 to start, because I had pretty much 50-50 time with my son at that point. And so I was like, how is that possible? And then, some things happened over the next month, and I ended up, firing, not really, I just let her go. I was like, she went through all the money in about 3 weeks, and I was like, I've done this before. I'm not doing it. I can go in and speak for myself. I have a pretty close to photographic memory. I read a lot. I understand I'm a smart person. So in the course of the case, they're filing motions, I'm filing motions. There was I won't get into the details, but there was a report of abuse and a forensic interview done. And at one point they said, or at the end of the interview, the police and CPS said, hey, he did disclose. And so we went back to CKHAD the next week. And then all of a sudden they said he didn't not expose, what's the word I'm looking for? He didn't, report. So basically they reversed what they said. And guardian litem's riding with all this BS, who, on a side note, the guardian litem, Michael Messman, is married to the ex-Commonwealth's attorney of Virginia Beach, which is the courthouse that I'm in. Which I literally didn't find out until the very end, like the circuit court hearing that's on my YouTube and all that stuff. So anyway, where are we at? I filed, I'm filing motions, and the guardian litem files a motion to put me on supervised visitation, and just totally commits fraud, like lies. Well, I had been recording them, documenting everything. I write my counter motion, and just like it was a slam dunk. I walked into that hearing thinking, okay, the guardian litem's going to be gone. We're going to get, things are going to start moving in the right direction. We have a conflict judge assigned, which was Judge Wiggins, because the stepfather was a practicing attorney in the courthouse. So none of that. So all the bench had to recuse themselves in JDR. I get in there and they put me on supervised, and the judge totally ignored everything, and I was floored. I literally at the end of the hearing was looking up at the judge like, with my mouth open and my eyes wide, and I'm like, but she lied. Oh, you don't say that. You don't say she lied. And I couldn't understand why they were getting so upset that I said that. But it really just made me like double down on like, how are these how are these people able to do this? Right? And I realized most people who are law-abiding citizens, their first contact with the courts is family court. They come into family court and they think, they believe the American justice system that's been sold to us through the education system, all the way up through, schooling and college and all that. And then you get in there and you realize it is not like that. It just isn't. So I had a problem.
It knocks the wind right out of your sails, doesn't it?
It does. I was flabbergasted. Like, I was like, how, like, and these are like, it wasn't like we were arguing a point. Like this was like in the record, in video, in recorded videos, in emails, in, you know what I mean? Like it was very clear that she had lied. So
right.
I'm like, how do they, how are they able to do this? By what authority? And it was, I really believe it was by the grace of God. I ran across the whole U.S. citizen versus state national thing, and that we have two legal statuses we're born with, and that we're under, while common law and the Constitution is the supreme law of the land, certain things have been enacted in our history that certain things have been enacted in our history that they have wrapped us up in this admiralty jurisdiction, which is commerce law. And so I was like, all right, well, if that's the system that we're in, then that's the system we have to fight them in. Okay. So if it's all based on presumption, and I know that I'm a living man and I'm not an ens legis or a corporate entity, then there's different sets of rules for all of this. And what I realize is that you invoke that higher common law jurisdiction over the statutory. And it led, I can't tell you how many hours after work and late at night that I stay up reading case law. I stay up reading pleadings and briefs and the history, the construction and history of like the Constitution, how it's a contract, how it all works. And then what they've done is actually legal. Like, we volunteer for this. Let me say that again. Every American volunteers for this bullshit. Okay? Because they don't teach us that, hey, you're a living, breathing man, but also we're going to make you a corporation. So because the government went broke and you're a creditor. They don't ever teach you that. So what I started looking into is, how does the government get people? They do it through affidavits. If the FBI does an investigation, they get all their evidence, they put it in an affidavit, and they bring it to a U.S. attorney. Sometimes they'll go to we're supposed to go to a grand jury. That's a whole nother subject that we're just not going to touch today, because it's something that me and some other Virginians are working on. I'm going to shout out to Peacemaker Aldo, God rest his soul. He was a very, very, very big proponent of the grand jury stuff. But back to this commercial process, I started looking at the axioms of commercial law, and everything is done by presentment, and it's done in affidavit. So what do we have here? We have an elected government that we're supposed to be the creators of and over top of, that serve us. But somewhere along these past 250 years, that role has got reversed, and people don't realize that. And again, we're volunteering for this. So what I started to do when seeing what was going on with the courts, is I started bringing people to court with me to see what was going on. I started we had a we all did parental capacity evaluations. I brought a friend of mine, and when I appealed up to circuit court, we went and pulled the file. His and hers report was removed from the file. So I go report it. This is wild. I go and I report it to the clerk's supervisor. I come out, and the attorney is Kurt Easton guy, who's my son's stepfather, is in the parking lot, is about the court to close, pretending to work on a car, waiting for me to come out. You want to talk about shook? Like, I was just like, it was something out of a movie. Like I'm a grown man. I'm pretty strong. I was scared. Like I was straight up like, what's going on, that they have this power to manipulate things and do that. So, I take pictures, whatever. I put all this in affidavits, report it all. We get to our hearing about 2 or 3 weeks later, and the judge totally ignores everything. I file a affidavit and motion for deprivation of rights under color of law, give it to the clerk the morning of. The clerk brings it back out to me, puts an X on it, and was like, "Oh, I think you should just give this to the judge directly." Now we have a conflict judge. That's because one thing I will say, as far as the justices that are assigned to the Virginia Beach courthouse, I really haven't had any problems with them. I can't say anything ill about them because I haven't had that experience. I was dealing with conflict judges because that was supposed to be the fair way to have my case heard because this guy's practicing law in that courthouse. Again, we start writing affidavits. So where does this power come from? Where does this authority come from? This is the next question in my mind. Well, no, it comes from God. No, I'm talking about like the authority of these people over us. When we walk into their building, where does that authority come from? It comes from an agreement or a contract, and that contract is their oath of office. And what I realize is that every single official, judges, clerks, attorneys, councilmen, when they sign that oath of office, they create a contract with every citizen that is the Constitution. It's that we all agree to these provisions of the Constitution that you're going to limit the scope of your action against me based on that contract. Period. Well, okay, fine. If we're under this admiralty commercial law jurisdiction, then that's how we fight them. It's okay. You're in breach of contract now, so you need to pay me. So you write your so what the feds do when they indict somebody, they do it by affidavit. So you write your affidavit, you make this is what I'm doing now and what I'm teaching everybody is apply the commercial process to these officials. Okay, fine, you're in breach of contract. I'm going to send you an affidavit. If you don't answer my affidavit, then you're admitting to everything there. Now you're on the hook. You're liable. So now it's time to go talk to either Travelers Insurance, who has the policy, which we just obtained about a month ago. I've got the surety bond information for every clerk and every judge in Virginia now. Every single one of them. All of the JDR judges and the clerks, they have to have an oath of office on file in the circuit court clerk's office of that county or city, and that's where it's $3. You walk in or you send them a certified thing, and if anybody wants to reach out to me, I have for Virginia. Again, I specialize in Virginia. Like I'll try to help anybody, but Virginians, like that's who we're riding with. We've got bond request letters based on the Sunshine Act and the Freedom of Information Act. We've got that request the oath of office and the surety bond. If they don't answer, then you file a writ of mandamus. The other thing that I know I'm kind of bouncing around here, the other thing that I've been in looking at all this over the past 6 years that I realized, it's funny, but it's really sad too. The majority of society's problems all stem from the bar. If you I mean, seriously, like if you really think about the issues that we as average citizens
whether it's booze or a lawyer, right?
Right, yeah, I'm talking about which is the British accredited registry. Technically they're foreign agents, but whatever. The whole Virginia State Bar, that's a whole nother thing. I actually have a letter. I have a letter from the Virginia State Bar when I filed a complaint for her attorney David Dildy lying to the police on police cam and giving false information. And they actually put in writing that lying to the police was an acceptable tactic by a bar member. Let that sink in for a second. Where do you get this authority from? Like, we have a set of rules that we all agree upon that gives you this authority. And if you're going to circumvent it, you don't have any authority. You don't. And again, this all goes back to the bar. We filed, we had canon violations with Judge Wiggins, and because of the what the GAL had put fraud onto the record or whatever, and sent all that off to the Judicial Review Board, and some bar card was their gatekeeper. And I was like, oh, well, you can't really prove that they talked about, even though the attorneys were all sitting in the courtroom when the judge, before you walked in, you can't prove that there was ex parte communications. And it didn't even get to the review board. So, and the state bar, like, they don't care about this. So again, I'm geared towards solutions, and there's no silver bullet to any of this. It's like, you got to just try as many things as possible, and like cooking spaghetti, you keep throwing shit at the wall until something sticks. So what we're getting ready to do is file a writ of mandamus. And for those that you don't know, a writ of mandamus gets a judge or a court to order a lower court or a state agency to do what's in their policy or do what they're supposed to do. So we're going to be filing writs of mandamus to get oath of offices for the Judicial Review Board. We're going to get oath of offices. Really, what I'd like to do is, as we get more people into our group and that are dealing with this, they go into the local circuit court clerk's office, they get all the oath of offices, and then we're going to publish all this. And we're going to give them the pathway. We're not charging either, because I'm not going to charge money to free somebody or get your children back. That's retarded. If you want to make a donation, that's fine. But like I really believe that God put me in this situation to gain all this knowledge and to help people. And that's what we're rolling with.
So I do have a question. You said that in the judicial complaint, you said that they said that there was no you couldn't prove ex parte communication. But
right, even though I had 4 affidavits. No, they're saying I can't prove, because I wasn't in the room. I can't prove subject matter discussion.
Oh, but you can.
No, I know that, and you know that. but
well, no, they have an agreement that says they can do it.
Huh?
They have an agreement that says they can do it.
Who has an agreement that says they can do it?
The court.
Oh,
CPS.
That's new on me. Well, this is aside. CPS was out of it at this point.
Well, still, it doesn't matter. I mean, it still generalizes around the whole issue of them allowing each other, because it's between multiple agencies. It's between the police departments.
But not with the judge.
Yes, with the judge.
So
100%.
Becca, tell him what it's called.
It's called a memorandum of understanding.
Okay, Steph. And again, I want to preface this, like, I don't know everything. I'm learning every day, and I'm gonna learn every day. But I'm going to continue to share the things that I know. And
oh yeah, 100%.
That's why there's so many hosts, right? We all do different.
Yeah. This is genius. Like I'm really. Well, this is the first podcast that I've done on this, and it's actually something that I've been praying on, was to start getting more exposure and talking about these things so that we can stop what's going on, because it's not like what's happened to me is not like, I'm not special at all. Like, my case is not special at all. It's egregious for sure, but there are a million horror stories across the state like mine. And I really believe, what it is, and the whole attorney fees thing.
That doesn't make your kid's story not special, man. It's special to you, and that's all that matters.
Well, no, I for sure. No, it's very personal, very special to me. But what I'm saying is that all of this happened before. Just like all the things that we're dealing with, is this isn't the like 2026 isn't the first time that we're being treated like chattel, that we're being treated like corporations. Is it like the Supreme Court has ruled over the past 250 years on multiple things that we're dealing with now? It's just a matter of finding what that is, applying the constitutional common law jurisdiction that sits above this statute. Well, it's not a statutory, it's an admiralty jurisdiction, but that sits above that, and then invoking your rights and taking control over that jurisdiction. And that's what I want to teach people. That's what I want all of us to get together. And the more people that come together and speak out against this, and that file against bonds, put it on the public record, that's the only way it's going to change. United we stand, divided we fall, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Period.
Yeah, but if you look into those memorandum of understandings, I mean, those literally tell you 100% that they have ex parte communication, that they're allowed to have ex parte communication with each other. So,
but it violates the canon, though.
I know, but they don't care because nobody has challenged it. This is the problem. Nobody has challenged their policies, their procedures. Nobody's challenged those. So essentially, people need to really start going in and being like, oh, well, wait a minute here. This is unconstitutional because we all know.
Well, guess what? I'm your Huckleberry.
I mean, we all know that, it's unconstitutional.
I've been jailed for loving my child and trying to speak up for him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like there's nowhere lower for me to go at this point.
Nope.
I have 0 F's to give at this point.
Yep.
Like I don't care. Okay. And God has blessed me with enough intellect to understand how all this works and how to attack it in the right lawful way, not legal way, but lawful way.
Yeah, because there is a difference between legal and lawful.
There is a huge difference between legal and lawful. And that's something else that I've learned over the past 6 years of studying all this stuff. And I'm the kind of dork that goes to sleep. There's a YouTube channel for the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals in California. I'll go to sleep listening to arguments. Like just to have background noise.
He sounds like me.
That's live the law outside of my work right now because I want my son back. I know what they've done is wrong, and I'm ready to expose it. And there's nothing holding over my head anymore. As long as I give these fools the money that they're ordering me to give, they can't touch me. Period. We've gotten to that point now. To where I'm taking the gloves off and my hands are unchained.
Don't say that.
Tom,
don't say that.
Don't say
that. I don't look. You know what? Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior, and I can do all things through Him, and that's what I'm standing on, all 10 toes.
Yeah, they take that as a threat against them. That's what they do.
I mean,
take gloves off. That's what they say.
Well, every court hearing that you go to essentially is supposed to be a new trial.
De novo, yeah, for sure.
Yes, it is supposed to be. It actually is supposed to be based in the here and now, not 6 months ago when you had a hearing. It's supposed to be in the here and now, and a lot of people don't understand that either.
Right. Well, and so that people, that's gonna, to me, I think that's a revolving cycle that people fall in, and it's hard to get out of. And again, that's why I believe applying this commercial process to what's going on is that, hey, you've got a contract with me and you breached your contract. So now we're going to do this. And so here's the other cool thing about filing on an official's bond is that, say if a cop beats me up and it gets videotaped or whatever, and I go and file on their bond, somebody he hasn't beat up can also file on his bond, because if you're willing to do it to one person of the public, you're willing to do it to every person of the public. You only need 3 filings before the insurance will drop them. Once they drop them, they can't work as an official anymore. That's why they try to hide the oath of offices. And I mean, it took us a good 6 months to get the traveler's insurance policy number and all the information for the surety bonds for all the judges and clerks.
So has it effectively worked? I mean, in theory?
I'm about halfway through the process. I've got all my affidavits. I've already served notice of intent to file on bonds. And I also help a lot of people, so that kind of slows
you down, yeah.
Me working on my stuff. So we're right at that point to sending the getting the investigation part of the public auditors going on this, and then notifying the Virginia Beach City Council notice of liability, and going that route. We're planning a rally to rededicate the courthouse to God and to talk about the things that have happened in that courthouse on July 5th. So I'm announcing that now. We'd like, whether you're in family court or not, if you're a Christian, if you just love the Constitution, come out for an hour and hear what people have to say, eat some hot dogs, make a showing, and just say, hey, like
where's that going to be?
Y'all are a creation of our agreement.
Where's that going to be?
It's going to be right in front of the Virginia Beach Courthouse on July 5th. We have locked in Reverend Craig Johnson, who's done a couple of dedication. Actually, he was just up in DC, and I think they rededicated some part of DC. They rededicated to God. And so that's what we're doing. So it's kind of it's going to be, we're trying to appeal to several different groups: constitutionalists, people that love America, family court people, Christians, and just get everybody together and come together and say, hey, like we created this system, and we the people have the power, and we just want to make that showing that, like, look, you guys need, if you're going to be an authority and have power, you need to limit what you're doing to the Constitution, period.
So I live, sleep, eat, breathe, everything the Constitution, but I also know the Virginia Constitution, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, I found my little book that I bought at a yard sale. I didn't even read it. All I saw was Constitution. It's mine. This also has the Bill of Rights for the state of Virginia. And number 3 says, for Virginia, now this is the Virginia Bill of Rights, that government is or ought be instituted for the common benefit, protection, and security of its people.
Yeah.
Okay? It also goes on to say that if the government is not accurate and is found to be inaccurate and or contrary to any of those purposes that I said, same as the big Constitution, we in Virginia have the right to tear down our government and rebuild it the way we want it.
Absolutely.
And all forms of government.
Absolutely. And the way to do that is literally by coming together. It's going to speak at our city councils, and it's to, again, I'm telling you, this commercial process and the affidavit process is how it's all done. Its roots go back to England and to the Magna Carta. It's you have a set of facts, and you put that in an affidavit, and you send it to the person that's done you irreparable harm. They have to answer you. If they don't answer you, then they're admitting to what's going on, and they're taking on commercial liability. It's basic contract law 101. And back to the state national versus U.S. citizen corporation thing. The Supreme Court held in Rodriguez versus Ray Donovan, all codes, rules, and regulations are for government authorities only, not human creators, in accordance with God's laws. All codes, rules, regulations are unconstitutional and lacking due process. So all these CPS laws that they make, and all these the Title 4D child support things that they force you into contract, none of that applies unless you're admitting to being a U.S. citizen in a corporation. And there's very simple ways to go through this to the United States State Department to rebut that, because again, we're under commerce law. Everything is built on presumption. Once you rebut that presumption, then you're changing your legal status.
So I'm curious how it's going to work out in practice, because
it
all sounds good in theory.
No, absolutely sounds good.
Oh,
in
yeah.
theory. We're gonna have to find out. But again, like, I can't do it all by myself.
Well, no.
I mean, like,
who can? That's a lot for one person.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But I can teach this process to everybody that's getting screwed over and who is losing their children or having their rights taken away from them.
Out of curiosity, do you know what a stipulation is?
I mean, yeah.
A legal stipulation?
No.
That is how they're stealing people's kids.
Well, parents patriae is how they're stealing.
Stipulation is when two I thought when two agree on something, right?
Correct. Okay.
Okay.
But when these people are going into court with CPS, right? You have a public defender. You're represented.
Well, hold on. Let me stop you there. As soon as you take an attorney on, you have legally admitted to the court that
I know.
You're a minor and ward of the court.
Yeah.
And you have waived your rights.
Oh yeah. Well, here's the thing.
You've waived your constitutional rights, and you've converted them into civil rights, which are privileges that can be taken away. There's only there's only one right of the U.S. citizen, and this is on the books and also decided by the Supreme Court. The only right of a U.S. citizen is to live on the land here. That's it. Everything else is privilege.
Mm-hmm. Well, see, okay, but anyways, back to the stipulation thing. The stipulation, okay, essentially is like CPS, okay. So we all know that once you get a public defender, because the courts automatically, generally as a rule, appoint them for you. So when that public defender goes in and they talk to CPS, the CPS attorney, okay.
Mm-hmm.
CPS attorney comes back, or they've already had their conversation. Your attorney's speaking on your behalf. Now, the problem with that is that your attorney, generally as a rule, done agreed to what CPS wanted for you on your behalf without you being privy to that. And then essentially what happens is that when they agreed to that, you then became obligated to do what the contract per se says.
Yeah, they obligated for you. Again, you volunteer for it.
Yes.
And that's what people don't understand. Like that's
you're right. That's when your rights come into play. That's when your rights come into play, because once your attorney stipulates for you, you essentially just gave up your right to a hearing, to contest their evidence, to do anything of that nature.
Absolutely.
And you just gave them the bull to put for your own demise.
Right. And you volunteered for it. When you take that's why they offer you an attorney when you get it. Like, put the CPS side of it. On the criminal side, the reason they offer you an attorney is to take control of your rights. You have the right to an attorney, but as soon as that bar card starts speaking for you, it's a wrap. It's what I literally just had a hearing on the 19th where I had all this evidence, wanted to put them on, put the other side on the stand concerning these attorney fees and all this stuff, because I literally have her lawyer lying on body cam. Right?
Yeah.
And my lawyer wouldn't do it. He literally, I had everything set up and emailed to him, everything ready to go. And he was like, we're just going to come in and go in and tell the judge how hard you've been working and how much money you've paid, and hope that. I
hope you fired him.
Huh?
I hope you fired him.
Well, but I only had him for that one hearing.
Well, this is what I tell my parents.
But here's the deal: the judges, when you're pro se, they have a disdain for you. It's like, and I get it. They went to school all these years and blah 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 blah, and they passed the bar and they got their own freaking club. So they don't, regardless as a layman what you learned and understand about what's going on, they're just not going to listen to you. And so when I had this guy assigned to me, I'd asked the judge, I said, I want him assigned as co-counsel on these two situations. I will speak for the rest. And then literally in the hearing, she was like, let the judge, you need to let your lawyer speak for you. And I was like, I already knew what the deal was. I'm not going to argue.
I mean, essentially that means he's hybrid. That's your second chair. So
that's what it was supposed to be. But
yeah, that's what it's supposed to be.
Again, I was looking at jail time. Now, I had proven that there was no willful intent, no willfulness for contempt of a court order. So I was, pretty certain, because I literally brought in all my financials. Like, hey, this is like these past 6 months. This is what it was. This is what I did. This is what I paid. This is these are the bills that I ignored so I could pay y'all so I don't go to jail. And that's what got me out of it, because I knew that they had to have willful intent in order to jail me.
Yep. Okay, so the first thing is the word lawyer is nowhere in the Constitution. It says counsel. That's the first thing. We got to get rid of lawyer. It says counsel. Even me had to go back and look. The second thing is I don't care what they tell you. These people took an oath to uphold the United States Constitution and the state Constitution.
Absolutely. And they don't.
I wish a judge would tell Tiffany Wise that the Constitution does not apply in their courtroom, because I will literally have a heart attack. Do you hear me?
If it doesn't apply in their courtroom, then they have no lawful authority.
Well, here we go. Then that means, Your Honor, sir, ma'am, Kimberly, Kelly, then your 11th Amendment immunity, then that doesn't apply either. So now you are under a 42 USC 1983 claim that I'm about to file.
Right.
And that's what I tell my parents.
For those watching and feel like that's the route they're going, I am working diligently with some of the people I'm helping right now on creating a solid 1983 suit form that is written in the proper format. It's put in. That's the other thing. Anytime you're going to come in and deal with these people in the court, you always have to think about your audience, whether it's going to be a jury or whether it's going to be a judge. And if you're writing motions, if you're writing suits, you're bringing claims, whatever, you got to keep it short and sweet, stick to the facts, and you got to put it in the format that they're used to reading. Because if you go in there with a freaking 200-page thing, they're not even going to look at it.
The blue book, the blue book for writing, essentially, you can look it up in your state's on your state's website somewhere. I know you can find it, but like they have the writing manuals for each state, like how they require it to be.
Yeah, it's in all the statutes, like down to what type and the size type you use. And all that stuff. Yeah, sure.
I mean, those essentially are golden. I mean, realistically, because you don't, people. I've seen people's filings, and I'm sitting there like, please do not tell me you submitted that to the court. I'm like, it makes no sense. Like, and the format it varies between states. So
in Virginia, they like New Times Romans, 1.5 spacing, 12 point print.
Yeah. Generally as a rule, that's generally what it is realistically between all states. Because I mean, it's like that in my state too. So I mean,
what state are you in?
Ohio.
Ohio. Okay. Actually, you know what? Well, get my contact from Darren, because I've got two people in Ohio that have wanted my help, but I'm locked in on Virginia law and Virginia Constitution and construction, and I don't have the time to go and figure out, because there is a little bit of difference from state to state. But I've actually got two mothers that could probably use help if you'd be willing to.
Yeah, I do all states. I mean, I literally have people I don't think my Facebook Messenger shut up for weeks.
Nice.
We just said what the format was. Darren, why'd you highlight that comment?
The format for Virginia is New Times Roman. It's 12. Size is 12 point, and the spacing has to be 1.15.
1.15 or something like that.
Yeah, that's worth just a little bits of what you guys covered. What are the margins? Left, right, up, down, and bottom.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It has to have a page number on it, and I've seen some. I've seen this coming from bar cards in their filings and pleadings before, but I didn't read it in the statute. But I've seen where they have each line numbered on the left side of the page.
Yeah,
that's usually for transcripts, though.
No, we use it's what you're supposed to use for every one of them, so the judges can go in accordance with the lines.
You just muted yourself.
You just muted yourself, buddy.
And somebody asked earlier if anybody had ever filed a 60B. I filed one, motion to vacate, and the judge, he decided after it sat for 15 months, I believe, without a ruling. And he finally decided to rule on it. And he ultimately said that everything that was all the issues that I had brought up in my motion should have been dealt with on appeal. But yet he refused to give me a transcript. So my appeal was ineffective.
Yeah, that's the other weird thing. Like you can only appeal to the appellate court if you have a transcript.
Well, no, not only if you have a
No,
transcript.
no.
Now you can actually do.
In Virginia, it's that way. Like you don't bring a court reporter to circuit court. That's where your case ends.
Well, that, and I know that there is a way, because there is in my state at least, that you can actually file essentially like an affidavit stating
Mhm.
what happened in the trial, and then everybody has to approve it. Like both parties have to approve, they
Right.
have to read it and approve that, yes, this is what happened, essentially, if you cannot get a transcript for some reason.
Right. Well,
I don't know.
and what's
I don't know if
weird
it's like
is
that
like
all over states.
in Virginia and circuit, or at least in Virginia Beach Circuit Court, if you have to bring, even though circuit court's supposed to be a court of record, you still have to bring your court reporter.
And we don't even have those. We don't even have those. The judge or the magistrate literally is the one that controls the recording.
Wow.
Yeah, like literally, they're the ones that press the record and stop recording.
So, and what? Actually, I'm all right. I'll talk to you guys off air about that, because I know they're watching this, and I don't want to give away legal strategy, but we're definitely going to get back in court on that circuit court hearing. That's the other thing, is I started recording everything. I had that same attorney, David Dildy, on courtroom camera, me handing evidence of two of the witnesses didn't show up, so I filed a motion for contempt for failing to answer the subpoena or whatever, and then that document that the clerk brought back out and told me to hand to the judge myself, and I have on video me handing it to the deputy. Her attorney saying, "Oh, let me see that," and him getting it and be like, "Oh, this is a juvenile subpoena." Totally lied to the judge and then sets it down on the thing, sets it down on his table, and wouldn't even let the judge see it. And the judge rode with that bullshit.
Dave caught a baby deer. I'll be back.
A baby deer? Oh, I want a squirrel. Dude, I wanted a pet squirrel for like ever. Anyway,
So I love everything that you're doing. I really do.
I've helped a lot of people. I've gotten somebody out of a 9-year sentence. The Commonwealth was offering them 9 years and on an illegal search and seizure. And this is actually when I went to jail for the failure to comply. I started getting everybody on my pod out. Like, oh, no, this is how you do this. And we were writing affidavits and getting them notarized in the jail and sending them into the court, and people were getting fucking released. It was great.
I'm actually going to send a couple people to you.
Okay.
I hope that one of them is watching now. Because my poor partner, the Punisher up there, he just be getting crushed with people that I send to him. And I feel so bad for him, because not only is he dealing with his own personal shit, then he's got to deal with me. And that alone is enough. But since you're in Virginia, I am going to send a couple people to you, because we both know we're a Commonwealth state. They do what the fuck they want to do.
Dude, I've come to the conclusion that's everywhere. And again, this is why, like, us coming together, like multiple people and filing on the bonds and attacking this commercially is the way to go, because nobody's going to pay attention or give a F until their personal pockets are starting to be affected.
Well, yeah, that's true, because my husband said, you want to piss a man off or a system, start hitting them in their pockets.
Yep. I'd like to give a plug for a private base group that we have, that we're like, I'm uploading like basically everything that I'm doing and the results and where we're at. Like I got my judge removed from my case, Judge Wiggins. I used my affidavits and I'll just say I got her removed for the case. I'll show everybody in the private group. later. You have to be able to document constitutional violations or canon violations. And you have to create a commercial liability against the official. But you can get judges removed if they don't want to recuse themselves. And there's a path to that. The group that we have that we just started is
Darren, doesn't your app do that too?
let's see here.
Yeah, it does quite a few things. But yeah,
Yeah, I'm actually really looking forward to getting into your app. I want to check that out for sure. Let me see here. That's the other thing I wanted to bring up. So, in regards to, hold on. So the name of our group is Virginia Custody CPS/CPS. It's a private Facebook group. You can reach out to me. I'm Stacy Paul, PAHL on Facebook. Reach out to me if you, and this is for Virginia residential. This is for Virginia family court people only. Like, we try to help other people out of state or whatever, but I understand what's going on in Virginia, and I'm here in the capital where like we got plans. Like this is my first podcast, but like I've got like probably 6 or 7 things that I want to do and get the public on. And behind, and with rallies, talking to legislators, new legislation like more control over guardian ad litem, so other families don't have what Michael Messman did to me and my son. And anyway, so if you guys want to hit me up, it's Virginia Custody CPS Stacy Paul on Facebook, and like I said, we're going to be showing making basically forms that you can fill out and apply to your own case to start affecting. Because if you have a lawyer, dude, like the lawyers, they work together to fleece you and take your money. That it's just what they do.
Yeah, these are what we're talking about.
I'm not saying all lawyers are bad. There are very few good ones, but.
So this here is what they call the pleading paper, and this is what the formats that everybody's trying to look like. They're always trying to be like, how do I get that fancy little area around the thing to make it look like the courts do it? You start here. These lines represent the number of lines that you have. These are normally set, like they say, between 1.5 and 2. This one is set up for 1.6. So that's basically the standards or whatever. But they're very simple. You can create these in Google Docs. All you got to do is create a table right here. Do a double table. You just move the line over. And that's how you get them all partitioned up, squared up nice, and all of that stuff. It's very, very simple. And in Google Docs, you do it. It'll update your tables for you. It'll do all that stuff. Your margins are right here. It's usually 1.5, 1, and 1, and 1 on the bottom. You need to make sure you have your footer, your headers, and all of that stuff. It's easy, simple stuff that they charge you an assload of money for. There's a great video on YouTube that shows you how to do it. It's like 45 minutes, but it's called a pleading paper. So anybody that wants to get all of these formats and everything, look at that. But this is the raw way of getting that fancy look that you always get in the course that they do for you right here. It's very simple to set up in Google Docs.
Right. And viewers, when you do your pleadings and you're going and stating your facts, keep it simple. Like state one fact, number it, and move on. Do not give your opinion. Do not don't be a smart ass. Like, because you're gonna want to be like, you know what I'm saying? But don't, be professional. And again, you always want to think about who your audience is. Your audience is that judge. And so put yourself in that judge's position. They're looking at so many cases per day. And you know what I'm saying? And just think about, again, what your audience is when you're drafting your stuff, and you're going to have more success.
Yeah, the judge looks at the
first, mean you're going to be successful, but you're going to have more
success. The judge typically will look at the first 2 pages and the last one. That's what you got. Yep. So all that stuff you fill in between, they don't even care about.
Right. And two, if you're getting, like, bring people to court with you, like organize and have court watchers. That's the other thing in this group that we're doing is that we're teaming up and going to court and just sitting and taking notes on these hearings. And we have a right to do that. Even in JDR, don't let them tell you, oh, this is private. No, it's not private. If one of the parties wants to bring in a witness to sit in court and view it, you have that right, period. Another thing I would recommend is going on to the Virginia court website and going and getting and I haven't been on there in a while, but there's a path that you can work with the court clerk on to get to be able to do electronic filings and to do that, because I'm in Richmond now. I had to move to Richmond because it was so bad in Virginia Beach. They kept arresting me, dropping the charges. During that circuit court hearing, I had 9 sheriff deputies come in and hover around me when I'm trying to present. I had a sheriff come in and make this big spectacle of hugging the GAL and all this. The guardian ad litem's husband came into the hearing, disrupted it, and then went outside and videotaped my witnesses sitting outside. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man, grow up. Intimidate. Like, why are you trying to intimidate us?
Well, actually, they do that to intimidate people. But actually, if you look at it the way I look at it, why are you all scared that all these people are here?
Right, exactly. Like, what do you got to hide?
Right. I need you to put your name and stuff in the chat. Because somebody said that I got lost connection, so I had to log back in. And somebody else in Virginia wants the name of that chat, that group.
Okay, let me pull it up.
CPS, was that VA custody CPS? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Hold on, let me pull up my Facebook and get it. And it's a private group, and we're careful about who
we let in.
Right, because I know they're gonna want to see what we're planning and what we're doing and how we're organizing, and so we're very careful about what we let in. We might even, I'm gonna talk to you and see what's going on and where you're at and all that stuff. I might even want to see, some paperwork just to verify that you're being legit about it.
Tiffany put me right in it.
Well, the Holy Spirit spoke to me when you reached out to me. I knew you were legit right off the bat. That was a little different. Hold on. Groups.
Right. Almost. I want to put out here.
It's Virginia, all caps, and then family court /CPS. And the thumbnail on it it has a light in the background, and it's a parent reaching out to a child's hand.
Virginia family court. What?
Virginia, all caps, and then family court // CPS in caps. And then we also have a chat that we're doing. And like I said, we're and really I think I'd almost like to try to extend this across the state if we can. But July 5th, we're gonna have a rally at the courthouse out front. And I'm actually what is this thing doing? Reload page. Can y'all see me still? All right, here we go. I think it would almost be kind of cool if we could get, if other families that are in Virginia that can't make it to Virginia Beach want to go to their courthouse at the same time. And one of the things we want to do is we just want to pray for everybody. Mm. You know what I'm saying? We want to rededicate our lives and our situations to God and ask for his help in this, because all of our common law is based on Christian principles. I don't care what anybody says about what we've done the past 250 years in separation of church and state and all that. When you go into the history and the Federalist Papers of the founding of our country, it is all based on God. Now, they weren't forcing their God upon it, and that's where the separation of church and state comes from. But right down to your pleadings, we end all of our pleadings in what? A prayer for relief. You know what I'm saying? It's all right there.
Well, I will tell you this. I took a course on the Constitution.
Did you take the Hinsdale College one?
No, I took another one.
Dude, it's free. That's the other thing. Go to Hillsdale
Wait a minute.
College.
I want to go back to the religion.
I'm sorry.
34% of the Constitution was written from the Bible.
For sure. No question. Absolutely. And back on the bar, dude. I absolutely loathe the state bar and bar cards. Um,
There are some exceptions,
there,
though.
I mean, there's some exceptions. They're far and few between, but I think like once you study law and you realize, and this is like becoming a bar member and all that, and you realize that once you take that oath to the bar, that you're swearing an oath basically to a foreign entity and to a system that takes precedence and priority over your client, that should be a big red flag. It should, and that's how it works. Like, bar is British accredited registry. Why do you think every bar class graduation picture, they all have fucking wigs on?
Oh my!
You haven't seen that?
No.
You know, like the old school, like
Yeah.
British, yeah, dude, I can't tell you how many passing bar classes I've seen that they're all smiling and wearing these stupid ass wigs.
So I want to bring you back on.
Okay. I really appreciate
tomorrow.
you guys having me. And I'm definitely looking forward to working with you guys.
Oh, thanks.
I think God is blessing all of us here, and I know this is something. Getting exposure and bringing this to the light and showing it to people is something that I've just been praying for and literally waiting for the right opportunities. And it's crazy. It's not crazy. I mean, it's divine. Like, it keeps happening. Like, you hit me up out of the blue, and I was like, sweet. And then like, you know what I mean? Like, and then there was I have another situation that has to do with the courts. I'm not going to speak about, but it's outside of the family law thing. But it's in a locale, and I had a friend that I've known forever, and my grandfather and her father were friends, who's having issues and needs me to come to court with her to kind of court watch and help her with what she's trying to do. And it's in the same courthouse that I got a problem with, that I'm about to go after these fools on. And so, you know what I mean? Like, and it just like God just keeps like putting the right people in my path and bringing us together. So like, I know we're going to be successful in all of this. I know we are.
Yeah.
Well, I do want to say this, because you told me how much somebody wanted to charge you just for a phone call. Hold on,
Call it out?
Go ahead.
I tell you what, when let's talk about that off air.
That's fine.
And when you bring me back on next time,
that's fine.
We might.
I want to say that.
But a major figure that I was trying to get as a keynote speaker for this rally on the 5th, I reached out to them and to see what it would cost. Because I'm a regular working Joe. I do all this stuff in my spare time. So like, this is something I would have to save up money for to get them there. But they're a nationally known person. They wanted $300 initially for a phone call to give me an estimate to find out how much it would be to come to Virginia Beach. And I was like, and they were like, well, you want to make a donation? And I'm like, well, like, I'm a working single parent that's getting his ass kicked by the courts right now and hasn't seen his kid in over 900 days. Like what, $20? And they came back at 300, and I was like, I really appreciate your time, because I always try to be gracious with, you know what I mean? Like I always try to be, even if like if you're pissing me off, like, you won't know you pissed me off. I'm just like,
I tell you what, if we can pick a date,
we'll talk more, because there's other people that I have talked to about that situation and that person that have had some similar experiences. But I don't want to go calling it out right now. Just for a reason,
we'll talk about that later.
Yeah,
what I wanted to say was, Darren and I hold rallies here all the time. Mm-hmm. Okay, we can pick a date or a weekend that I can too, because being an advocate, you're a broke bitch. Okay,
Yeah,
that
and
hurt
again,
comes.
I don't charge for helping people. If
No,
somebody wants to
listen.
donate to me, I will, but I'll gladly accept that. But I don't. I just
What I want to do is get with you. We'll get something going in Richmond. You get the people there. I will come.
Okay, we can do that.
And
Oh,
but
I'm sorry.
it's got to have a
CPS thing.
TV.
Hold on. This is one of the points. Pardon me for interrupting, because I know we're getting ready to close.
That's fine.
The commissioner of DSS, that's over CPS, and that has an oath of office.
As what?
The commissioner, and he's a new one, of DSS has an oath of office. So he is constitutionally responsible for everything his department does.
Tiff, that's a big deal for you to offer yourself up and travel. You don't understand how much it is to even get you out of Winchester.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that, and I might have I might be able to kick you a little gas money.
No, it's not the gas money. It's not the money. It's the leave that little square.
Put you up and all that stuff. No, I'm down, because part of what we're going to start also is contacting legislatures and giving them these affidavits and showing them what's going on, and be like, look, you're our elected representatives.
You don't have to do that. They all know. I
know they all know. But when you make it public and you put it on the thing, then they have to make a decision. I'm either going to ride with the people or I'm going to ride with this bullshit.
Well, they all know, man.
All right, let's end the show, because my munchkin just found me. He's all up in here.
Guys, I really appreciate y'all. I am down to come and talk to y'all anytime. And just, I thank you, everybody in the chat. I'm on Facebook. I'm Stacey Paul, STACEY, last name PAHL. Hit me up. I'll help you the best I can.
Thank you for coming on.
Christ is king.
On your reports, fabricating narratives, random feds knocking on doors, but the real crime is how you abandon. You take kids for profit, federal funding got you stacking tall. Termination petitions, parental rights about to fall. False allegations, no due process, just your word against mine. Title IV money train rolling, destroying families line by line. You say best interest of the child, but the stats tell a different tale. Kids lost in the system, trauma piled on without fail. Kinship care denied, strangers get the title for pay, while real parents fight in court just to see another day.
No kings, no crowns, no CPS overlord. Title IV funding got the system pulling strings for rewards. We ain't stopping till the corruption gets exposed.
Parental rights restored, watch the whole machine implode. No kings, no more.
Time to fight back hard. CPS Title IV scams leaving families scarred. Truth hits harder than your fabricated reports. We keep fighting till the system falls apart.
Yo, caseworkers playing God with your federal incentives clear. Title $4 for every kid that disappears. Reunification rates dropping while your bonuses appear. Families torn apart while you claim the moral high ground. Here investigations biased, evidence twisted like a noose. Court hearings rigged, judges trusting you without no proof. You target the poor, the disabled, single moms in despair. Title IV funding pipeline keeps the nightmare in the air. You say protect the children, but the data shows the opposite. Higher rates of abuse inside the system you profit from. Ironic, foster parents failing kids, bouncing home to home, while real parents get silenced, left fighting all alone.
This ain't protection, this is a business with federal grants.
Title IV money
funding every chance.
No oversight, real, no accountability in sight. Parents united now, we taking back our rights.
No kings, no crowns, no more CPS control. Title IV pipeline drying up, watch the system fold. We ain't stopping, no more silent suffering.
Parental rights forever, hear the people thundering.
Kings, no kings.
They said don't fight the system. They said stay quiet. They were wrong. Lock in. We are exposing what so many have failed to.
We are gonna show you what bar attorneys have hidden from all of us. Hundreds of thousands of children and twice that of parents have been lied to and walked down the road of termination. It's the death penalty. We're all of the protesters, the ones who fight for the rights of prisoners, dogs, illegal immigrants. Why aren't you coming to the aid of our children and families? Right here in America, every day a child per minute is kidnapped.
And no one cares. We fight alone until today. CPS Punishers mount up. Here comes the CPS Punisher.
Anonymous tip, another lie from one of them. No warrant, no proof, just a badge and a grin. Stealing kids like trophies, thinking they'll win. Mama crying on the porch, daddy in the cage. System wrote the script, but the CPS Punisher just flipped the page. The educator they banned, I see every violation, every forged line, every ex-part hearing, every stolen time. One tap of the app and the truth ignites. Welcome to the CPS Punisher, now we can fight.
CPS and the courts have lied to us all.
The courts will not disgrace the family. CPS Punisher,
Here to avoid the chains and expose the game.
CPS Punisher,
The educator they never wanted you to find.
Punisher,
One tap and their empire cracks. We rise, we take our kids back. The app is called the CPS Punisher.
I'm the cape in the shadows, the skull in the night, the binder full of secrets and weapons you all need. Ab initio, watch me void that lie. Fourth Amendment armor, watch the tyrants cry. Falsified drug test gone in a flash. I see Tevio, warrior, due process king. Every parent's hero when the hotline rings. I call it justice. Download the truth, now the system busts us. From the courtroom to the streets, hear the battle cry. The CPS Punishers arrive. Kiss your bar asses goodbye. They tried to silence us, now we're the loudest voice in the room.
CPS Punisher,
Here to avoid the chains and expose the game.
CPS Punisher,
The educator they never wanted you to find.
Punisher,
The children never leave again. Families rise, we never look back. We now use the CPS Punisher.
This ain't revenge. This is reunification.
This ain't rage, this is resurrection. Open the app.
Step into the fight. You ready?
CPS Punisher,
The app you need when they took your kid.
CPS Punisher,
The truth they hid, now the truth gets lit.
Punisher,
Download the power, take back the throne.
Punisher,
You're never alone.
CPS Punisher. The educator they never wanted you to find. Void complete. Family restored. The bar is finished. The Constitution will prevail. Judges do what's right. Treason is your penalty.
CPS Punisher,
Here comes the CPS Punisher.
We know it's all about the money, we know they lie, we know this is corruption. Does CPS know what they are doing to the children?